Alright, so in this one we are going to be doing my Dragon Ball Legends almost end of April 2026 tier list here, top 10 tier list here, with it being the very strong buff of Napchita and the also seemingly decent buff of Zenkai Cell. Napchita also getting their unique equip. They have adjusted tier lists. They are very top tier, very strong. And note, this will just become irrelevant within this upcoming weekend, which there'll probably be another tier list because we're getting the new legend, which a lot of people are thinking Rose, a lot of people are thinking blue or red. Blue to check Buhan because he is a very unchecked unit right now, as well as red just because we need more reds in the game. So we shall see what happens there. But just to get into it here, let's just touch on honorable mentions. There's 15 units on this list because I do think there's a lot of debate between 9, 10, and honorable mention can all be interchangeable, and I'll just order these real quickly. So let's put them in order of it being Sword of Hope Trunks at number 11, technically speaking here. I do have even more so, just putting them in at this point. Cell, Kaioken X20, UI Goku, as well as the last one going to be Red Bardock. And to order this finite here, I would say I think this is technically where I'd go with this. Yeah, I keep it like this. Probably Sword of Hope Trunks being at number 11, Cell being at number 12, Kaioken X20 being at number 13, at Red Bardock being number 14, Ultra UI being number 15. Just touch on them real quickly. Sword of Hope Trunks, again, any of these 9 through 10, to honorable mention, can all debate within 9 through 10 tiers themselves. Just that I put these units above them. But Sword of Hope, he just doesn't have a roster. You know, we are going to get a new Trunks that is dropping within alongside the Legend. So let's say it's a yellow Trunks, and that replaces a Puddle or a VT usage, and it's hybrids of FSK, Trunks, and the Xeno, whatever it is, Trunks that's coming out. Cool, great. Then he gains value and he goes to the top 10. But because he doesn't have a real roster, you know, you could try like a Buhan, Bardock, Sword of Hope, whatever. Like, there's just no finite roster for this unit that coexists right now in the game. I think that dwindles him to a decent degree because I do think Trunks individually should be higher than probably like a third of this list. But again, because there is no roster, because how squishy he can be, I just can't see myself valuing him to a high degree, as well as a new purple that can have some sub-cabinet within a team that Trunks is running on. Let's say he's running with hybrids, he runs with Gohan, then boom, +3 sub-count to Gohan because Napchita coexisted and Napchita entered, and now guess what? You can't swap up because you're Puddle, you're Gohan, and they're both +3 subs, so now it's Trunks versus Napchita, and that's a little bit hazy because it's only 5 counts defense neutral once getting hit, and even if you don't get hit, that first card is going to destroy you because you don't have your defense neutral active yet. So a little bit of a sequence there where Trunks just isn't a fan, and he gets kind of just falterized, and from there, just doesn't have too much stock for himself within his team roster. Cell, a similar vibe within, he just kind of gets carried. The best team that exists for him would probably be like a purple or blue purple, pearl blue kind of thing, maybe alongside Napchita himself, and then Piccolo, or he could run him, you know, on regen or something like that. I just don't think he makes any real finite core that's like himself showing omnipotence. Cell does struggle within even having cover and all entries. He don't always have his gauge. You need his gauge for cover and all. That's a problem. There are the yellows bombarding him within. Here's Bardock doing really good burst because he's a numerical higher unit. Namek Goku could still lock him in. Yellow Forku could lock him in. Kid Buu could snipe him. UI's at the end of this list. He could do something to him. Cell just is struggling a lot within everyone around him. And when he first released, this wasn't a thing because he had UVB partnership and it was just the Gammas. LF Gammas were the only yellow that was really running amok during Cell's release. And well, okay, here's UVB. Like, I'll be all right. I can deal with one yellow in the meta sometimes, and a lot of times for a lot of people, you are fighting double yellows. So Cell, what do? I mean, I guess he can run again with Buhan, but again, there just is better options to run with Buhan at that point. So why would you even run Cell? X20 and Red Bardock kind of go in the same, you know, boat there. You're going to run them alongside the Legend Bardock or Namek Goku or Gohan, whatever. You can do all of them. They're just kind of substitute options. And then Ultra UI, again, just a substitute yellow that is just pretty good off meta, with it being good against Buhan's gauges, you know, strike sealing or strike stopping Kid Buu within his auto dodging, and then just, you know, generally speaking, just being solid to kind of get out of the way and just be more of a nuisance character than not. I always rate Ultra UI a decent degree because he is just going to be, again, very good to deal with the annoyances of these top tiers, and he does deal with them pretty well. So there's our honorable mentions, and then moving on from there, we do have it being in the top 10 of number 10 of being Mr. Ultra Namegoku. He does still, unfortunately, make the list. Definitely, again, dwindling down within time, and I'm sure by anniversary, this guy should be off top 10 list because the numerics just keep getting worse for him. Napjita's equipped. Napjita can probably end up fucking 3 to 4 carding Mr. Namegoku within full disadvantage and just spamming blast cards. Like, I'm sure if you got a sequence of that, you get some green cards, you get some, you know, your gauge and everything, and you're just in Nap, you're just throwing his fucking Key Blast. I'm sure you get 3 to 4 card Namegoku. If not, get very close. And I'm talking like damn near idealistic, you know, stars, build, everything, whatever it is, 2, 3x. It just is that numeric creep that's happening. Kid Buu, strike blue card, boom, Namegoku gets popped up, and then, you know, see you later, KO guard. So it's just a matter of time, but it's just that there's such ease to him being on rosters and such a flow for, you know, you want to run the GT duo and then Namegoku. If you don't have Bardock, okay, you can do that. Or if you want to run just anything, Buuhan, and then you want to run Napjita and then Namegoku, okay, do that. Here's your extra safety. You don't even need it, but like just have it because it's there for free. Why not just take advantage? And it's just that kind of notion that he creates within obviously his baseline precedent kit. You know, clearly the locking he can do, which could be valuable paired with somebody that's stronger than him. The support that he gives, clearly KO guard, the AoE, his damn near feeling 100% feint chance that he does. It just feels like he just kind of still has to coexist. Again, I do think Trunks is better than at least a third of this list, but again, he doesn't have the accessibility in my eyes to flow on so many teams that, let's say, someone above him or a few spots above him can, where they would probably be worse than him, and they are worse than him individually, but again, it is a full culmination thing, and you will see within this list, it literally is creating teams in order, if not damn near close, as you go through the list, and it just is showing like Trunks does not have that going for him, at least to a finite degree, as of current right now. But then moving on, it's number 9. I do think it is Mr. FSK. People are still kind of scared of this guy, which confuses me because he's not scary. Whether he even be on pure hybrids, I'm kind of noticing where he's just like starting to not really scare me at all. And I'm not running a green unit, by the way. I haven't ran a green unit in a good minute when I actually are like playing PvP. I don't run a green. I run, you know, here's the Boo, and then yeah, at one point it's Super Judo. At one point it was Gohan. At one point it's now Napjita, and it's like, I'm not running a green, and if I'm not running a green and I'm not scared of him, then if you are running like Ultra Furoku, then what the hell would you fear him? You wouldn't. Gohan, I just don't see much merit to him that really coexist as like overwhelming. Again, I would say Trunks probably right now could just do a better job than Gohan individually, but again, the accessibility Gohan has to put on leader slot of a team and then give all the things he's giving within a very long combo stall, within the support he gives, within the safety merit he gives, which is just better off than Trunks within some degrees that he's doing. The utilities of his kit, I would actually say, is more valuable than a lot of more Trunks' utilities. So why he's above Trunks, there goes that. And why he's above Namegoku, it's more so he's just better than Namegoku, kind of doing a very similar vibe of kind of being an everything type of kit. But, you know, one's a team safety, one's a self-safety. But again, you can even work it where Gohan kind of can be more of a damage dealer than not. It just takes a bit of time, which you don't really want to spend that time. But that's better than doing no damage, as Namegoku does, because he doesn't do damage. He really just tickles people at this point. Especially even if you are purple, you know, most odds, you're probably going to defense neutral within those first entries. Namegoku's usually best within his first entries of his lock-ins. So you wouldn't even do, you know, too much damage at some points, unfortunately for him. So Gohan does retain number 9, you know, on the top 10 list, kind of lower tier, but I don't think it's anything too bad. I mean, I'm happy about Gohan not being high on a top 10 list, personally. Just don't need to see that guy high on top 10 list until we get the new Legend Beast within, you know, part 2, part 3, whatever the fuck happened to Annie. Then we move on into number 8, with it being probably one that people are going to be like, you'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Vegito. Vegito, I've said this for a billion, zillion, billion years, that Vegito is homeless, and he has always been homeless. Now, the best team that actually could culminate for him would definitely be, let's say, Vegito alongside Kid Buu or Bardock, and then Buuhan. So it's either pure Buu Saga or Buuhan leader slop within 2 Saiyans, and you kind of just make the Zenkai bunches work from there, like Super Saiyan 3 Purple Goku, LF Bardock, and then, you know, Red Ape, and then boom, you go into fucking PvP and have a great old time. But that's, again, just kind of slopping him on a team than anything else. And while that's not like a full intrinsic negative, it just is more so that you see another purple here, and that purple does allow for the Zenkalos to flow for the team and kind of make it more cohesive than anything else. And I think within Vegito kind of losing that core of the Buu Saga team, that's, well, from there, Vegito actually does just dwindle, even more so than that. This is a revival unit getting a buff that's going to be in the higher tiers, clearly, you know, at least top 7 here of Napjita. And within that, that wouldn't give Vegito more value. Vegito is meant to kind of just get everyone out the way as fast as he can within his ultimate, within his ramp up and all that. And if you're having a more durable and then just kind of outright just beefy purple that coexists, that could do really good damage to Vegito himself as well within a good bursting setting of Napjita. It's just going to hurt Vegito. I don't think really anything could gain for him. As well as if purples are getting, you know, a sequence where they're getting buffed, well, that means the yellows are getting better. So now the yellows were already really strong, and now they're getting even better because they're more valuable. Of, like, let's say Kid Buu trying to do a little lock-in thing. Well, now Kid Buu's going to be more frequent because of that. Or Bardock or Yellow Forku. Their frequency was already high, but now there's more validation to even up their frequency. And yes, while Buuhan does exist, you have to just kind of coexist while you're running these yellows. That, yeah, I can bite the bullet of running into Buuhan because this purple could do something crazy, this purple could do something crazy. I have to run a yellow nonetheless of Buuhan coexisting in the game. So Vegito actually goes down a decent ways for me just because he's not running core anywhere, as well as kind of being leader slop within the other 2 units here. And mind you, this is a team. 8, 9, 10 is leader slop Namek, or Vegito leader slop on, you know, Sunfam, whatever you want to call it. That is one of his better teams still. I mean, again, pure Buu Saga, but again, I would just prefer to run Napjita for the sustain and stats over than just the outright stats of damage that Vegito can have. And Napjita's even faster. Napjita's a fast burster just because their equip's so new and they kind of, you know, overwhelm the numbers with it. Vegito's a little bit slower. Vegito takes a bit of time. You know, Kid Buu can kind of take an equivalent amount of time. Buuhan takes a little bit more time, but those are kind of more bang for your buck. Buuhan's an investment type. Kid Buu's kind of you know, be a pesky piece of shit and snipe type within the drop combo green, blue card, blah, 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 blah. Vegito is more so just raw, taking too much time compared to other units that can just do things faster than him. Even to a degree, Bardock. You know, Bardock retaliates, so Bardock gets hit, and guess what? Bardock is going to be doing crazy damage compared to nobody else. But, you know, it takes a little bit of time investment. Not as much as Vegito, but it's time investment, which it's actually worth the bang for your buck of how fast they do their burst damage in their own potency setting. But then we move on into number 7. And I'm just going to be honest with you right now. Anyone that's not, frankly, number 1, but I'll be even nicer, within the top 5, I really don't have struggles within matches. I'm just letting you know. Anyone that's not there, I don't even really care if they're in a match. Number 1, I do. But the others, I don't really give 2 shits. Just so you understand. Number 7, though, is Legend Piccolo. I believe this is actually the highest he's ever been on a tier list for most people. And, you know, you could even debate on number 6. I wouldn't say it's too crazy. I would just say it's kind of like you're forcing a little bit there. The Piccolo, the team for him, again, you can't see a team kind of formulating there. It's definitely not a high tier team, but it is Cell Saga within Legend Piccolo, Gohan, and Cell. And while I don't think that team is phenomenal, Cell is kind of just getting carried, and Gohan's kind of just getting carried. And Piccolo actually is just carrying the entire fucking load because Piccolo is just newer than Gohan, so his numerics are faster to ramp up. His damage is going to be better off than Gohan's, and you're always going to be using Piccolo to combo on that team. And unless Cell is getting like really good situational play, Cell is just not consistent enough to kind of, I would say, force any problems within anything. A lot of the times, as well as Gohan, again, he's just kind of not lacking, but he's not there to be your main guy. Piccolo is. Piccolo can do very good damage. If you are running up against, let's say, you know, double blues or something like that, you're running up against even the team right below him of that trio, Piccolo will just burst everybody out. Piccolo does really good on his damaging setting. Unfortunately, Piccolo is super frail, kind of like a Trunks vibe there. Kind of worse. Actually, I've seen Piccolo definitely look worse than Trunks on defenses, but Piccolo does have at least a roster that does give him better off settings than he's ever really had. Again, I don't think he fits regen. They just don't want him. You know, we just have someone better, and now it's just not even regen, it's PO, because you are just putting Napjita on the team, and that's just obviously going to be better than Piccolo. But Piccolo at least has a roster that does give him more efforts to be something, and I think within that, he just kind of needed that the entire time. Piccolo can do these really good things, and it just needed a little bit of a bump up for him. And I do see Vegito below Piccolo, but I'm sure some of you will be not the biggest fan of that. But hey, I'd prefer running Cell Saga than I would prefer running Vegito really anywhere. Or even then, I'd prefer running Piccolo probably leader slot than I would prefer Vegito running, or rather running on Regen than I would prefer Vegito running on Majin Buu Saga leader. Like, I've ran both, and there's positive and negatives to both. I would say now it's more positive to run Piccolo there than it is to run Vegito there. So that's kind of where that falls for me. And then we move on into number 6, with it being Mr. LF4Ku. This guy still does have pretty good value. Obviously, he doesn't really go down too far, but he goes down a little bit because, like, you have to make room for one of the more top-tier units. But, you know, he's still aight. He ain't doing too bad. I would say the GT Duo doesn't really get necessarily hurt by Napchita. It just doesn't really get much stronger because there is a green on said GT Duo. So it's not like this guy's getting worse. It's just that Ultra 4Ku is your glue. You know, he's the one that's not letting a rush go through. He's the one making the disrupt happen of, like, no more cards being clicked. So he's the one that's always going to be better in my eyes than the LF, despite the LF being a better coloring and everything like that. That is the glue of why, like, if you run to LF4Ku without the Ultra, you will not really feel LF4Ku do too much. When you run them together, you definitely do feel LF4Ku giving more merit, giving more, you know, goodness for himself and his ally. Now, when you have that, it's also because of Ultra 4Ku's utility that's kind of making that work. Now, do I think it's, you know, the highest tier thing right now because there's another purple running around? No, but I would still say it's pretty valuable. When you aren't fighting, essentially, the top 3, which you can probably guess the top 3, if not, you know, at least the top 5 here. When you're not fighting at least the top 5, you know, you kind of have a decent time. You know, GT Mirrors or PO, you're kind of having a decent time against GT Mirrors, but PO is where you really actually struggle. Anything else, though, the GT Duo is perfectly fine. They're not even touched. They're not even thinking about it. But because the top tiers are such what they are, it really does hurt them within that regard, where this guy has to just a little bit dwindle. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit dwindling down. Not because of what he is. It's more so just because what those top tiers do and how it does hurt the GT Duo and whatever trio you put, name it Goku, Bardock, whatever fucking third you want to put on that team. Then move on into number 5, with it being Mr. Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Again, he is the glue for GT Duo because of what he does within the disruptions of the combo of the rush and blah, 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 blah. From there, not much really to talk about on him. Hey, he's still hitting that top 5 margin, so good for him. I hope he falls down quickly and, you know, rapidly. Again, people are predicting a new blue legend to drop soon, so maybe he won't go down, but here's to hoping he does. This guy is a, at least top 5 most toxic units in the entire game's history in my eyes, because just the merit of stopping the entire gameplay is just kind of fucking insane, which he does very consistently. But you are starting to see, at least even numerically, there is, you know, let's say Napjeet enters, and then the defense neutral is about to end. So, like, you got one card defense neutral, then one card's not, and then boom, you see Goku take from, like, 30% to, like, oh my god, he just took 80% from 2 cards. Whoa, we gotta calm down here. And then, like, that's also Sun Family, so that kind of lock-in, pseudo-lock that Napjeeta can do within early game definitely can be potent. So again, the Force Duo just struggles a little bit against, not even a little bit, a lot of it against PO. But again, the units below, they're not struggling. You think they're going to struggle against Piccolo, Vegito, Gohan, Namek? No, they're not going to struggle against any of those. So Force Duo, still very top tier, just struggling against the highest tier of the top tier. And then moving in to the top 4, I actually do have Mr. Legend Bardock. Oh man, I had this guy mad the last time. 9? 8? Some shit like that. And I wouldn't say underestimate him. I actually don't really see this guy as a problematic thing, but I do more so understand what the intent is. I get what the role is meant to be, this kind of invincibility of, like, I can live forever, and it gives me more chances to kind of make this comeback. I've understood that. I understand that now playing against him more. And, you know, Bardock last man standing, I've definitely seen some spots where he looks promising, but nothing too overwhelming. It's more so just his allowability to kind of go wherever. I would say Bardock right now could fit anywhere. You could put Bardock within Vegito and Gohan. You could put Bardock within Double Fours. You could put Bardock with Buhan and, you know, Napjeeta. And then guess what? From there, you have a really safe team of, like, here's Buhan gauges, here's Bardock who just won't die, here's Napjeeta who's also pretty bulky, as well as being good on their own merit of damage. You kind of just have more so a lineup that just does everything at that point. And I think that is where I'm valuing him the most right now. Again, I don't really care for his per se gauge, whether it be a skill thing or not. I don't really care. I use units that sometimes have immunity to his card cost upping. So guess what? You just combo through it, and then you save, Kid Buu, you use him, or you use LF4Ku, whatever, and you save your timing to where you could do the snipe thing of Kid Buu, the snipe thing of LF4Ku, the snipe thing of Nameku. You can just play for it, right? But I think the potential that he can have and that he has within any roster, and that the allowance of the freeness he can go on any roster, because he is a Saiyan, so he has that, kindness for him. He is also yellow, so he has easy Zenkai buffs for him. I think those things kind of force him higher here, where he would be above the GT2. Originally, I had him below. I had him at number 6, and it was, both Super Saiyan 4s that kind of moved up one peg on their own. But looking through it more, they're paired together, they're forced together, and I think this is more of a... It's like a Nameku thing. Nameku is just kind of here because what he can be and what he allows for his team diversity. And I think Bardock obviously has that in some similar vein, but I think it actually gets amplified more within, okay, here's Napjita. I didn't really, here's me trying to run, whatever it is, Vegito or Gohan, and Gohan's a little bit, numerical. Things are kind of iffy. Vegito is not really being amplified here, so it's kind of also a little bit iffy on this team. But now with it being a Napjita of you could Zenkai buff, and then you could have it where Bardock just leader slot, then you have Red Ape, you have, or whatever it is, you want to put Buhan leader slot, then you kind of Zenkai buff the Saiyans there, whatever you want to do. I think that allowance of a revival and indestructible, a more, I guess you could say, modernized revival, because Gohan, again, he is a couple months old. He's hitting that 6 months old margin within the anniversary beginning. I think just kind of that more modernization of a team does allow for Bardock to fit there. I don't think it's the best team in the game, but I do think it gives him the allowance to fit there. So, hey, Bardock got that stock up for me. And again, he is yellow. I mean, that is the most obvious thing. This yellow is strong against purples. So whether you get that retaliation damage on, Napjita, and then you start just fucking pummeling them with Bardock, and then boom, you just kind of destroy them. Bardock clearly is the newest yellow, so his numerics are the best for it. And unless there's a yellow that could do a sniper thing, Bardock would be the best unit to handle Napjita, which again, Napjita is very top tier. Then move on though into the top 3, with it being Napjita at number 3. Yeah, this unit is fucking insane. I put up a poll, I put up a tweet asking who's better, Napjita or Vegito, and a lot of people said Vegito, and it's okay, it's a fusion for one, so I get people are saying that, but as well as they were talking about essentially that Vegito just doesn't care. He just does everything type shit. And that's actually kind of what Napjita is. Matter of fact, Napjita really don't care. Napjita can destroy a yellow unit within your Vegeta. You got green card going, then you just start fucking killing them. You start just comboing, and then guess what? You're neutral, and you're just going to fucking just decimate anything. Or Napjita could do a little slight potency within their sub-count manipulation thing. They could also, be pretty beefy within their equipments, as well as even from their equipments on that defense neutral that they got from their own unique equipment on their entry 5 counts, and they really got baseline unique equipment. I mean, shit, they can't even combo their blue card off Nappa's cover change into the cover change. You can't even do that. They didn't even fix that. So, despite these flaws they kind of left for them, there is so many good things that have been added to them, and it's just numerics. It's just an MZ vibe. This is a similar thing I could put to that. They also are A-tier boosted, so figure that in. That is 4% damage inflicted, I believe. 20% damage guard, which Kid Buu was like that when he first got his equip as well. So, again, factor that into that. I think Red MZ also had this, but Red MZ didn't really get touched with him, losing the boost and having the boost. Orange Piccolo is a similar vibe to this unit. We're very good on the initial droppage, but then okay, here's Legend Super Vegito that comes a little bit after. Then, here's Piccolo in the fucking dumps and never used again, Orange Piccolo. So we could see that happen for Napjita. I think it's a little bit more unlikely because the offense neutral that could be happening, defense neutral that could be happening in the early game. I don't even think Orange Piccolo even had defense neutral without gauge or something, so it was really bad for him. Napjita definitely have a lot more kind of just put into them to have more longevity. And again, I think they hit the best team in the game within both Boos, and from there I could even put it where the top 2 is the Boos. Obviously Buhan at number 1 and Kid Buu number 2. Had this for a bit here. Actually Kid Buu went up because last time I think it was Ultra 4Ku number 2, and then Kid Buu's 3 or 4 with LF 4Ku, and Kid Buu could be debated. But yeah, Nap Jeter, Stellar, and then again, the Boos do what they do. I would say, actually, the Kid Boo here does get buffed within, again, the Snipe Potency, like I mentioned. If there's anything that could topple Bardock's just raw damage after retaliation, after taking a combo, it would be someone that snipes, and Kid Boo is said sniper. Kid Boo can do the drop combo green, it's a blue card, boom, let's pop Nap Jeter's first life, let's get them low, and kind of just reiterate that point. You know, even from there, let's say you're fighting GT, Kid Boo can waste the cancel buff effects. It's not like they can swap anyways, so you just keep blue carding Ultra 4-Ku, and from there, you're not even like killing him, but you're wasting these immunities they have. And then here's Buhan later that does his own job of his own blue cards, and then the green card, blue card, then you'll just kill them off that, and you don't have to really waste any of the accessibilities of your other unit that pairs alongside Mr. Kid Boo of number 1 Buhan. So I think Kid Boo, obviously, again, the stock within a purple being so dominant right now and being so good and being definitely a problematic unit to fight for a lot of people, that's got to raise Kid Boo even higher, and Kid Boo is not going to be better than Buhan, so Kid Boo does go number 2. And then Buhan, again, I don't have to repeat this. I know now, because he returned, I've fought him a billion more times than I ever have. Kid Boo, I've actually fought, like, if I'm fighting Buhan 1 in every, like, 5 matches, I'm probably fighting Kid Boo 1 in every, like, 8 or 9, so I'm fighting these guys quite a hefty bit, and if I'm fighting, like, Nappa, I'm probably fighting, like, 1 in every 4, so yeah, I wouldn't even say it's a usage rate issue thing for these guys. These are just units you are running into now, and it makes sense because they did return. People clearly see the value of having a Sniper Yellow, a only top-tier red unit in the game right now. Like, it makes sense that Buhan does have his stock up. Again, the yellows do get helped, so Buhan actually gets amplified from that because the yellow is getting helped via a strong purple. So now you have more sequence to even want to run a red, which you already had a high desire. So again, it kind of is just the color rotation flowing within, helping Buhan to retain the number 1 spot. Not much detail I have to go over. It's just, I mean, that team of the Buhan, Kid Boo, and Nap Jeter team, it's just, I don't think there's really a flaw to it. Again, I'm looking at these units and it's like, I'm not scared of Piccolo. Like, sure, he can kind of deck through shit, but then, you know, let's say I get 1 Kid Boo combo, then I pop his indestructible, and then from there I get 1 more, and then it's like, okay, Kid Boo just fucking snipe them. Or like, Buhan does a blue card, Piccolo doesn't have cancel buff effects, okay, then Piccolo can just get like 70 0'd within like a built-up Buhan. Like, it's not a difficulty to me. And I think Piccolo is better than Gohan within the numerical damage anyways, so if Gohan's getting, like, you know, a sequence where like, he could be something scary, I don't really get scared of him. Again, I don't think you even need to run a green against these blues. They just don't have rosters that kind of validate that in my eyes. So you're just free to run the top 3, and I don't think there's really any flaw to it. And again, if you want to swap Kid Boo to Bardock within your team, it definitely does become a less of a, I guess you could say, oppressive state. It's more so kind of like you're a defensive, you're a holdback state, but I think that becomes worse, but I don't think it becomes bad. I think one of the best teams in the game will be Bardock instead of Kid Boo here, and a lot of people don't own Kid Boo to the star material that you need him to get him to be his amplified self. So if you want to just put Bardock on a team, you know, who the fuck's going to stop you? I would say it's not that bad. It's just like, it goes from like a 9.5 to like a 9.1. Like, it's the same fucking tier of the team. It's just a little bit worse off. But that is my top 10 list of the, not end of April, I'm going to do end of April top 10 list. So I don't know what the fuck this is, like the mid-ish April, technically. Top 10 here, with it being Ultra Buhan number 1, Ultra Kid Boo number 2, LF Nap Jeter number 3. Holy low up. This really is some OP Kid Boo, LF Kid Boo, Red MZ shit. Like, the glow up is crazy. Hopefully it retains. Legend Bardock number 4, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku number 5, LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku number 6, Legend Piccolo number 7, look at that man go, Legend Super Judo number 8, Legend Limited, almost fucked up again, Super Saiyan 2 FSK Gohan number 9, and Ultra Nameku at number 10, and just I'm gonna mention 11 to 15 real quick, Ultra Sword of Hope Trunks number 11, Perfect Forge Cell LF number 12, X20 Kaioken Goku number 13, Red Bardock number 14, and Ultra UI Goku number 15. Let me guys think of my top 10 list / top 15. I'll see you guys in the next one.